Hey everyone, this is Rousador's Pokemon Shenanigans, and it's not just Torchic time, it's Torchic time in Kanto. As the first pure fire here in Invasive Species, I'm pretty pumped for this, as fire has always been one of my favorite types. When I was a kid playing the OG games, it was my favorite type, despite how bad it was in the Gen 1 games. That said, let's dive right into this little fighter in the making by checking out the base stat total. Decent special attack, passable attack, and everything else isn't really great. Being slow is going to make the later stages of the game rough for sure, but I bet we can get some real mileage out of Stab Flamethrower with a base 70 special attack and some Blaze strats. Speaking of Flamethrower, Torchic won't get Flamethrower via level up until level 43, but we do get some other fun stuff on here like Focus Energy and Slash. If we do have enough money, we can convert cash into coins and buy the TM for Flamethrower from Celadon. It is part of our TM move list after all. As far as TMs go, nothing terribly impressive here besides our fire moves. I might pick up Sunny Day to boost our fire damage, which actually could be useful against Lorelei as well, because Sunny Day does have water damage. Now you'll see on screen, if it hasn't played out already, that we have Reversal as part of our starting moves. That's because here in Invasive Species, I include an egg move for each of our Pokemon because I thought it'd be a fun little addition. And really, as far as egg moves go, there's not much for Torchic to choose from, sadly. Rock Slide we can get from the move tutor inside of Rock Tunnel, and nothing else here really stands out to me. Funny thing is that I mistook Reversal for Revenge when I first picked this, as in I thought Reversal did what Revenge does and vice versa, but turns out this was actually a great idea. Reversal is basically fighting type Flail. The lower the health, the more damage Reversal does. This will be pretty sweet for getting through Rock Tunnel as well. If you're new here, just want to say that I'm glad to have you here for the ride. Picked a sweet episode to join us on the Invasive Species journey. Here's a quick rundown of what this series is all about, and if you want the full version, I have the rules in the description. Basically, we run mons with max IVs, I choose an egg move, I choose the hidden power move. Think of it like having Natural Gift, but it's not a one-time use in battle. And if a Pokemon has multiple abilities, I'll pick the one I think is best. This is for full-on optimization purposes, and I'm aiming to capture the feel of the definition of Invasive Species, so I thought this would be a cool way to do it. So I mentioned that Reversal will be great for Rock Tunnel, as we can manipulate our HP just low enough for a base 150 or 200 power Reversal for the hikers, but it's also great against the first gym leader, Brock. Now, as you saw on screen, this was not a first try, but having Focus Energy and Ember crit Geodude on the second try, great start. And that turn to Ember and Defense Curl, Geodude throws the fight. Okay, we have most of our health for Onix. Now, as Onix comes up, we're going to start with Ember, as it's going to do more damage than Reversal. No burn, unfortunately. Rock Tomb does quite a bit of damage. Rock Tomb misses, Reversal does pretty good damage to Onix. And even better, Onix misses with Rock Tomb again. That's a 20% chance, by the way, and we deal just enough damage to take out Onix with the follow-up Reversal. That was awesome. I thought this would take way more tries than that, but we'll happily accept this outcome. Now, as we make our way to Cerulean City, we are going to avoid Misty for quite a while. No way are we ready for her just yet. However, I think we should be good for the second rival. I mean, we're going to have to be. It's not like we can backtrack and battle more trainers. This battle is always annoying in solo challenges because Rival 2 likes to lead off with Pidgeotto, and, well, this Pidgeotto has 3 moves. One of them is Sand Attack, and, well, Ember there does about a third, I think, and yep, there's Sand Attack, so we have our accuracy dropped for the remainder of the fight. Surprisingly, we don't miss Pidgeotto. That's good, because that is his strongest Pokemon at this time. So as Squirtle comes out, we go for Focus Energy, goes for Withdraw, and we miss Peck. Of course we do. And I make a bit of a blunder here, because I'm like, oh yeah, right, it's Reversal, not Revenge. Whoops. And it's good that we're actually hitting Squirtle with Ember, not doing that much damage, and he just keeps going for Tail Whip for some reason. By the time Squirtle does start attacking, we miss to such a comical degree that the last hit of Ember we get, unfortunately for us, we're not able to withstand a hit from Squirtle because Torrent's active. So, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to take these next few attempts to play Sand Attack slots here, and being sped up on screen here, you can see we don't have much success, but that said, we can get through this fight here and now. We're a bit higher leveled than his team. We just have to get lucky with Focus Energy helping us with crits, not missing too much when we get hit by Sand Attack, because at the end of the day, in this fight, you are going to get hit by Sand Attack. If you don't, buy a lottery ticket and share half of that with me, because I gave you that idea. That's a finder's fee. And speaking of sand attack, if you miss too much against Pidgeotto, it will take you out, and if you take too much damage, you're not going to be able to tank damage from Squirtle, so best to just reset if you miss too many times. Eventually, however, the slots will land in your favor. And hey, look at that, coming up here, Focus Energy is going to come in real handy with Reversal because we're low on health. That crit, bye-bye Squirtle. Abra can't fight back, so it's whatever. Against Rattata, we can't miss. We don't. Down it goes. And just in case you thought we were done playing the RNG lottery here, no, we're going straight to the SSN because, again, we're going to avoid Misty. And we're going to battle the SSN rival, who is a bit easier because we're much higher leveled. But Sand Attack is still pretty annoying. By the time Pidgeotto here goes down, we're down to 59 out of 75 health. And as War Turtle comes out, starts off great. Ember doesn't crit, but it does burn War Turtle, and it wastes its turn with Withdraw. Speaking of crits, we'll go ahead and buff up with Focus Energy, and War Turtle once again buffing its defense. Well, we're going to go for Quick Attack here. Might be the... yeah, it was the play. Nice. As Raticate comes out, the first Quick Attack does about half. We miss the next two attacks. Hyper Fang brings us down low. Our Oran Berry brings us to 36, and Quick Attack crit finishes it off. As Kadabra comes out, Quick Attack's almost a one-shot. It misses with Disable the first time. We miss Quick Attack. It does not miss with Disable. Things get real dicey as we miss Ember. Confusion brings us down to just 4 health, but thankfully our next Ember hits. That's good because we would have fainted to whatever it used. Well, with our third rival defeated, we can go ahead and head back to Cerulean City and grind out a bunch of failed attempts against Misty because, although we are much higher leveled, she does have a Starmie amongst her roster, and that's still way better than what we're using. Well, after that Quick Attack Misty heals, that lets us buff up with Focus Energy. And unfortunately, we get stalled out just a bit with Staryu going for Recover. When it does attack us, however, we're able to defeat Staryu with 48 health remaining. Now, I do have the TM for Secret Power. I made sure to get that northeast of Nugget Bridge when we're making our way to Bill's house because it's always great to have. And if we ever want to use it in the future, we can buy it from Celadon. But I wanted to try this fight with Quick Attack because Quick Attack is pretty useful for us because it gives us priority. As long as the enemy Mon does not have a priority move itself and is faster, it will go first. That has some useful synergy with Focus Energy. But unfortunately, that wasn't doing so well. Well, we're off to a great start as Secret Power does one-shot Staryu. Now, with Starmie, we end up paralyzing off of Secret Power very early. And from there, we're having a bit of unfavorable damage ranges, but not too big of a deal. Between Recover and the Potion, at the end of the day, we're able to get just enough damage on Secret Power to take down Starmie. Okay, cool. Let's go battle Lieutenant Surge. I think he's going to be much easier. Now, against Lieutenant Surge, as things start off, kind of interesting here. Of course, we're going to go for Secret Power. We're going to try to one-shot it. But we don't, and we got hit by Sonic Boom, but that's okay. Surge heals, and we're going to go for Focus Energy. And it immediately pays off. No pesky damage range. One shot with a crit. As Pikachu comes out, we'll go ahead and switch to Ember. It's a lot lower level than us, so even our same type Ember should take it out, and it does. As Raichu comes out, no surprise that it's faster. We get paralyzed off Thunder Wave and immediately lose our turn. However, follow-up, it goes for a double team, and we burn it with Ember. That causes Surge to go for a full heal. Big mistake. Secret Power finishes off Raichu. Now, thanks to Reversal being Fighting-type Flail, we can get our way through Rock Tunnel without much of an issue. The Hikers, though, they are super effective against us with Rock Throw and Magnitude, but as long as we manipulate our hit points with Reversal, we can take them out lickety-split. Plus, the random trainers aren't always the smartest fighters and might not go for ground or rock-type moves anyway. Upon arriving at Celadon, we're going straight to Giovanni because I want to be able to make some progress in Lavender Tower. I figure we can go for Erica after this fight, maybe. Now, this Onix does know Rock Throw, so we have to be careful, and thankfully, it seems to be going for hard, and actually it does so twice, so we set up Focus Energy, and Ember not only crits, but burns Onix, so that's awesome. That burn immediately pays off as well, because Rock Throw does way less damage now. And against Rhyhorn, what we're going to do is spam Ember. It's going to go for Fury Attack. It does get a crit on one of its hits. Thankfully, it's not Gen 1, because they all would have been crits in that case. I end up switching over to Reversal as our hit points get chipped away just to see if we do more damage, and, well, we get brought low enough after that Fury Attack, and although that crit wasn't necessary, there's nothing like overkill. So, Giovanni's Kangaskhan could have definitely taken us out with Mega Punch, but apparently defense drops with Tail Whip on something it would already finish off was way more interesting to Giovanni. Works for me. We got back-to-back critical hits. Thank you, Focus Energy, and thank you, Giovanni, for being consistently disappointing. Now, we almost have Flamethrower via level up, and I think we have a fair bit of Poké Dollars as well. But you know what? Let's go fight Erica without Flamethrower. I'm pretty confident that we can take her on with Ember. Now, her team is pretty good in Fire Red Leaf Green, but unfortunately for her, she loves status. That's the Gen 3 slogan, by the way. Ember's almost a one-shot. We get paralyzed off a Stun Spore, which is fine. We have a Sherry Berry for this. I decided to try out Secret Power. Yeah, way less damage. Ember's going to be the way to go, and that's easily going to finish off Victory Bell. Well, Tangela has terrible special defense, so 1 Ember's all she wrote. So as Vileplume comes out, Ember has been awesome in this run because we get yet another burn. We do get hit by Stun Spore. No Sherry Berry this time. We already used it up. And we do lose a turn to Paralysis. It doesn't matter, though. It just goes for Acid, and we power through Paralysis. Easy 2-shot. Alright, what do you guys say we go ahead and wrap up the first half of the game here by hitting up Lavender Tower, sweeping our rival? We should, because we're way over-leveled for it, as we typically are at this point in the game. It's a shame that the rival doesn't scale with you. I'm not going to say no to an easy part of this challenge, though. I enjoy a moment's reprieve just as much as anybody else. And you know what? I'm so confident that even though we get hit by Sand Attack, I think we're going to be okay. We missed the first Secret Power against War Turtle, but the second one not only hits, but crits. Speaking of crits, as Growlithe comes out, perfect time to set up Focus Energy. It can't do all that much to us. Yeah, it can use Ember. Yeah, it can use Leer. But at the end of the day, it's an easy 2-shot. Ember one-shots Execute very easily. It has terrible special defense. Didn't need that crit for Kadabra, but I bet that was therapeutic for Torchic considering their last encounter. After this, I figure we'll go ahead and swing on down to Fuchsia City. Gotta pick up Surf Strength, all that good stuff, and might as well fight Koga while we're here. Go ahead and check our time. Our time is 3 hours and 5 minutes. That's not too shabby. It's already doing better than Trico. As Coffin comes out, go for Flamethrower, one-shot. We don't want to get hit by Smokescreen or Toxic. Muck does go for Toxic and hits us, but we have a Pecha Berry, setting up Focus Energy and a couple of Flamethrowers. Down it goes. The second Coughing's the one-shot with Flamethrower. And a Focus Energy-powered critical Flamethrower takes out Wheezing. That was an awesome first try. That could have gone way worse. Alright, we never have to come back to Fuchsia City again unless I decide to grind if I need to on the route I showed you guys in the Trico run. So we're going to hit up Silphco and battle our rival because the only way to go is forward, so let's bulldoze our way through, shall we? Thanks, Pidgeot. Perfect way to punctuate that little punchline. Now you'll see that we have Hidden Power on our move slot now, and does super effective damage against Blastoise, so make your guesses in the comments section as to which one you think we picked. And I gotta say too, I just love Blastoise in this fight. He could easily take us out with Water Gun, which is what he's still using, and he just keeps going for Protect spam, no matter what. Gotta admire his dedication, I'll give him that. And as Growlithe comes out, he'll end up hitting us with Takedown, and that does put us in range for Blaze to activate, so our fire moves are going to be a lot stronger now. Oh yeah. Actually, no, it doesn't. We're just short of it, because 1/3 would be 40 out of 120, say. We're just missing that range. My mistake. Doesn't matter, though, because Execute goes down all the same. And hey, look at that. Alakazam goes down to a critical Flamethrower. You know, I said we'd bulldoze our way through this fight. I didn't think we'd beat Rival 5 on the first try. Now, next up is Giovanni, and he does have a couple Pokemon who are dangerous for us, because although we hit pretty darn hard with Flamethrower, we're at a point now where our low defense is starting to kind of be worse than our good special attack. Plus, his Rhyhorn does know Rock Blast, which is super effective against us. Thank the gods Nidoqueen does not have a ground move in this fight. And he is still using Kangaskhan. That thing is pretty dangerous in its own right. Now, as we start off against Giovanni, he leads off with Nidorino, and I have to say, that has to be the lowest damage roll possible. I'm surprised Nidorino survived that. And we eat a pretty hard Fury attack there that brings us down to 100 health, so we'll go ahead and switch to Hidden Power and finish it off, just to conserve Flamethrower power points. As Rhyhorn comes out, we deal super effective damage with our Hidden Power. That was also the case for Blastoise, so yes, we have Grass-type Hidden Power for Torchic. Next up is Kangaskhan, and we can easily just lose one-on-one with her from full health. Well, and that ends up being the case. I didn't know that Focus Energy buffed Kangaskhan instead of us this time. And you'll see in our second attempt here as Nidorino comes out, that was in fact a damage range, probably that 1 in 16 lowest damage roll. And we already know that we could one-shot Rhyhorn, so let's get straight back to Kangaskhan, shall we? We'll go for Focus Energy. She goes for Tail Whip. On turn 2, we trade Flamethrower, no crit from us, and she hits us with Mega Punch, no crit from her. We do crit on the follow-up, though, guaranteeing that we take her down. We deal okay damage to Nidoqueen. She hits us with Double Kick, and that puts us in Blaze range. Now, that helps us with some damage ranges, maybe just in case that we got a low roll or something. Guaranteed 2-shot. And might as well finish up business here in Saffron City. We can go ahead and take care of Sabrina so we don't have to come back. And we'll go ahead and check our time before we battle her. We clock in at 3 hours and 55 minutes. That's awesome. Torchic is feeling kind of slow and steady, but maybe it'll win the race, who knows. Well, I do know for a fact that Secret Power will one-shot Kadabra. As Mr. Mrs. Mime comes out, we hit with Flamethrower, and we also get a burn. It goes for Barrier. That's cool, I guess. So Sabrina uses a Hyper Potion. We're going to go for Focus Energy. Our follow-up Flamethrower doesn't take it out, but she just goes for Barrier, and the burn damage finishes her off. Next up is Venomoth. We are super effective against it. Flamethrower is easily going to be able to one-shot it. Last up's Alakazam. Flamethrower is doing about half. He goes for Calm Mind. And he's faster, so he's going to slip in another one. Alright, with 2 boosts to special defense, Sabrina's going to go to heal with a Hyper Potion. We're going to go for Secret Power, and turns out that was the right call because we got that timely Focus Energy inspired critical hit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go to the Pokemon Mansion, battle the trainers in Blaine's gym, backtrack to Lavender, go to Rock Tunnel, get Rock Slide because we're going to need it not only for this fight, but going forward. Focus Energy and Rock Slide? Yeah, that sounds like a good time against this gym. Blaine leads off with Growlithe. He does a little bit of damage with Takedown. We go for Rock Slide, and we do get that timely critical hit. Great start. Blaine sends out Ponyta next, and this surprised me. Even with an attack drop from Intimidate, we're able to take it out with a single Rock Slide. That was nice. As Rapidash comes out, we bring it into healing range with Rock Slide. It deals 28 damage with Fire Blast, so Blaine then goes to heal. Unfortunately, we do not crit, but that's going to have Blaine use up his next Hyper Potion. I figured I'd go for Hidden Power just to test out damage, and that was a decent amount of damage for a crit, considering that it's a Grass type. The follow-up Rock Slide takes it down. As Arcanine comes out, we deal about a third with Rock Slide, no flinch. Takedown ends up bringing us to 50 health. But unfortunately for Arcanine, Blaine's out of Hyper Potions, and we crit with Rock Slide to take it down. Now, before we battle Giovanni for the third and final time, we're going to head over to the Sevi Isles just to get a little bit more experience points. Also, while we're there, we can grab a hidden rare candy. And on the third island, after we deal with the biker gang, we can head west, cut down the tree, and then find a hidden power point up. It's always useful to have, never know when you're going to need it. Okay, so as we prep for Giovanni, just because we have Grass-type hidden power doesn't mean this is going to be easy. Yeah, the Rhyhorns aren't going to be a problem, but he does have Nidoking and Nidoqueen in this fight, and Dugtrio, and they all have Earthquake, so gotta be careful. And speaking of Rhyhorn, Giovanni leads off with one. We're faster, so that's always going to be a free kill for us. Not setting up Focus Energy because it has Scary Face. We don't want to lose the speed advantage. As Dugtrio comes out, we'll switch to Flamethrower, easy one-shot. Flamethrower does about 3/4 to Nidoqueen, and her Earthquake does plenty of damage to us. Okay, so this fight is a bust. Nidoking's gonna finish us off, unless we, get double crits, which we don't. But I have an idea for how we can win this fight right here, right now. That means we're gonna have to eat an Earthquake from Dugtrio and hope to heck it doesn't crit us. Thank goodness, here in Gen 3, Dugtrio doesn't have its insane Gen 1 critical hit ratio. What better way to let Dugtrio hit us than to power up with Focus Energy? Okay, with 85 health, we should be able to tank an Earthquake from Nidoqueen, barring she doesn't crit us, of course. We bring her into healing range, and Earthquake, oh, don't like how low that health is. Actually, wait, yes I do, because now Blaze is active, and Flamethrower just got way stronger. And yeah, if we one-shot Nidoqueen with Flamethrower, we're gonna one-shot Nidoking as well. I mean, case in point, you see the health bar just shoot straight down to 0. And we win because we have Hidden Power Grass, and even if we didn't, a Flamethrower critical hit with Blaze would definitely take out Rhyhorn. Having acquired all 8 badges, the only way to go is west, where we'll have to battle our rival one more time before we make our way to the League. I gotta say, Torchic's level's a bit high. That's not unexpected. It is a first form Fire-type starter. But the time has always been really good. I mean, 4 hours, 49 minutes before Rival 6? That's awesome. Okay, so he leads off with Pidgeot, like usual, and I'm thinking we're gonna go straight for Focus Energy because we want to be able to deal as much damage as possible. Wing Attack isn't that big of a deal. And even better, turns out that Rock Slide's a one-shot on Pidgeot. That was probably a damage range in our favor. Oh wow, it didn't one-shot. Well, don't worry, now it's gone. Out comes Rhyhorn, we have Grass-type hidden power. That's an easy one-shot. And as Blastoise comes out, we're going to be trading Water Gun and Grass-type hidden power. Unfortunately for us, we don't get any crits. That would have been awesome. But we still did pretty good against Blastoise here. Brought him to a sliver. Water Gun does take us out, but we should be okay for this fight. And hey, if we're not, we have tons upon tons of trainers still remaining here in Kanto that we can go battle. And as the easy attempts are playing out here, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's high time that we go level up a little bit. The only real grinding we've done in this run so far is just battling the extra gym trainers because you can't fight them again once you defeat the leader, so I always like to get that XP, and I did a bit of fighting in the SSN as well. With those extra level ups and a little bit of extra firepower, Rock Slide is in fact a one-shot on Pidgeot. That's good. And with Rhyhorn, well, you know the drill by now, so onward to Blastoise, shall we? As Blastoise comes out, we go for Grass-type hidden power. He goes for Rain Dance. I'm like, alright, let's go to Rock Slide. Maybe we'll get a flinch. Well, got something even better. A crit. And it took out Blastoise. That was awesome. Growlithe is up next. We get hit by Intimidate, but it doesn't deal any damage to us as we're faster and are easily able to one-shot it. Rain Dance may still be up, but Execute, again, has terrible special defense, and with same type from Flamethrower, it's not going to survive. Alakazam's fast, it goes for Combine. Rock Slide does about 2/3. We do trick it into going for Disable. It did disable Rock Slide, but we didn't go for Rock Slide. We went for Flamethrower. And after we defeat Rival 6, we're going to check our time here. That comes out at 5 hours, 34 minutes. Still doing pretty good. We'll go do some last-minute preparations, maybe a bit more grinding before heading to the Elite Four, because as a first form fire type, yeah, it's not going to go great. Now, fortunately, we do have some rare candies that we can use up as well. That way we can expedite the whole leveling up process, and our EVs are certainly maxed out by this point. And gotta say, the timing's still not too bad. Still under 6 hours before we start fighting Lorelei. That's cool. And you'll see that our little buddy, in fact, did get a bit stronger here because, well, Lorelei's not a great matchup for us. Level 72, though, maybe we can do it. Well, Rock Slide does swell damage, and as Lorelei heals, we can go ahead and use Focus Energy. This would be a real great time to get a critical hit, but unfortunately we don't. That still does really good damage. Unfortunately, so does Dugong Surf. Well, we'll go ahead and finish it off with Hidden Power Grass, and turns out that Cloyster's next interesting choice, and we're faster, and we're able to take it out with a single Hidden Power. Next up is Lapras. We go for Rock Slide, and unfortunately for us, no flinch, and that is Citrus Berry range. Oh, and we get KO'd. So naturally, this is an uphill battle for us, and in these failed attempts here, I'm trying to figure out what's best to go with between Hidden Power and Rock Slide, and against Dugong, Hidden Power Grass is better because it does a little bit over half, so it will be a consistent two-shot, and there's always the chance Dugong can go for Safeguard or Hail. And in addition to Lapras being incredibly dangerous for us, it also has Confuse Ray, which is really annoying in one of these attempts here because it's like, could have possibly taken it out, but we hit ourselves and Lorelei heals and we don't get the crits. However, with all of that taken into consideration, I think I have a strategy that'll work out here, and I'm confident that we can do it at this level. And again, gonna lead off with Hidden Power against Dugong. There's Safeguard, there's our follow-up, full health, good. Against Cloyster, we'll go ahead and set up Focus Energy. Yeah, it'll stall us out a little bit with Protect, but it's already a one-shot with Hidden Power, so it doesn't matter. Crit on Lapras matters. Slowbro's a two-shot with Hidden Power, and Rock Slide, it just goes for Amnesia. And for Jinx, one Flamethrower, down she goes. Yeah, honestly, that wasn't as bad as it might have looked. It didn't take too long to come up with a way to take her down. We're not out of the woods just yet, because Bruno is also going to be pretty annoying for poor Torchic here. I'd like to set up Focus Energy against Onix, but it has Rock Tomb. Do not want our speed being lowered, so one Hidden Power, bye-bye. As Hitmonchan comes out, Flamethrower does about 2/3. It goes straight for Sky Uppercut. That's surprising. Also glad for that because we can finish it off while still outspeeding. Against Machamp, we have to go for Flamethrower. It does have Guts, so we don't want to burn. Thankfully, we don't get one, and it goes for a Bulk Up, and even better for us, we get a really awesome damage roll here and take out Machamp even after its Citrus Berry. And he ends up sending out the second Onix, and that's no problem because, again, we have Grass-type Hidden Power, so it goes down. As Hitmonlee comes out, we go for Flamethrower and Burn It, and that immediately pays off as a Brick Break does way less damage to us. The Burn does not bring it into full restore range, and we take it out with the follow-up. That might have looked easy, but honestly, we got pretty lucky in that fight. And as for Agatha, she doesn't have anything super effective against us, but she can still be pretty dangerous and annoying with her poison moves, a double team, hypnosis, all those shenanigans. Well, shockingly, we are faster than the first Gengar. It goes for a double team after Flamethrower. The follow-up takes it out. We don't want that thing sticking around. It does no Toxic. And hey, we may not have set up Focus Energy, but that doesn't stop us from critting Golbat with Rock Slide. That's a 6.25% chance there. I'll happily take that. Next up is Arbok, who will go down to 2 Flamethrowers, but not before Arbok slips in Screech, which is really bad because the last Gengar has Sludge Bomb. And you can see with that Screech damage from Sludge Bomb, we're not going to survive a second one. Unfortunately, we don't get a critical hit. And being cured of Poison doesn't really matter because, well, if we don't survive the follow-up, what's the point? Still, not too bad, though. That was a good first try. Well, in our second attempt here, turns out to have a very interesting damage range on Flamethrower. We bring her down to healing range, which is fine because we can go and use Focus Energy while Agatha pops that full restore. It does have a double team setup, so gotta be careful. And hey, despite those evasion modifiers, we hit not once, but twice with Flamethrower, including the latter being a crit. And second verse, same as the first, out comes Golbat, down goes Golbat courtesy of a critical Rock Slide. This time as Arbok comes out, it forgoes Screech and goes for Sludge Bomb, dealing 70 damage to us. That's not too bad. We're able to finish it off very easily with a second Flamethrower. As Gengar comes out, it misses the first Hypnosis. Flamethrower doesn't crit. On the follow-up turn, we get hit by Sludge Bomb and Poison, so now we're in Blaze range. Gengar number 2 is not surviving that Flamethrower. And, I mean, last up is Haunter. Really can't do anything to us. I mean, also we're faster, and we have Blaze and Flamethrower, yeah. So, Agatha, not too bad. Lance, however, that's the fight I'm really worried about here. I was actually more worried about Lance than Lorelei, because at least with Lorelei, we have super effective moves against her team. And with Lance, that's partially true with Rock Slide. Unfortunately, Dragonite can't flinch because it has Inner Focus, and that's the one I'm pretty worried about. That one and Aerodactyl, because Aerodactyl does have Ancient Power, and it's very likely faster than we are. But, things actually start off awesome, because I'm like, you know, let's just test out Rock Slide's damage. Well, a critical hit's gonna do all of the damage. Just a reminder that critical hits pass attack debuffs like Intimidate, and Gen 3 it does anyway. Unsurprisingly, Lance sends out Aerodactyl. Unsurprisingly, it's faster, it does about half of our health with Ancient Power, so unless we crit, which unfortunately we do not, Aerodactyl is just able to take us out with the follow-up. Well, it's a good thing we have more rare candies. And this time we can see how much damage Rock Slide is going to deal to Gyarados proper. So, in our next attempt here, turns out Rock Slide's dealing a little bit over half, which is good. As it goes for Dragon Rage, we can go and pop Focus Energy. I mean, what's the harm in that, right? Well, not only do we finish off Gyarados, and unfortunately, while Aerodactyl is faster than us, we do get a critical hit with Rock Slide, one-shotting it. And we one-shot Dragonite with a crit. That was cool. But then I get greedy. I'm like, oh, we got Blaze active. Let's try Blaze on Dragonair here, but that didn't work out too well for us. Okay, so at this level, to avoid fighting more against the Elite Four and further leveling up, the strategy here is that we have to go with Focus Energy and hope to heck that we crit both Aerodactyl and Dragonite. Flinch on Gyarados would be cool too. We'll set up Focus Energy on turn 1, and unfortunately don't crit or flinch Gyarados, so he deals 80 damage to us overall with Dragon Rage before going down. Aerodactyl does major damage, but we crit it and Dragonite for a one-shot. We get a flinch on Dragonair and then follow up with Blaze-powered Flamethrower. Dragonair number 2 goes down to a critical Rock Slide. Man, Focus Energy has been such a run saver, I tell ya. I mean, Reversal is great as an egg move, but man, Focus Energy, just having that buffed up chance to crit, it helps so much. Now, I think the champion's going to be tough, but I don't think he's going to be quite as tough as Lance. We have moves that are much better for dealing with his team. I mean, really, besides Blastoise with Hydro Pump and Alakazam, which is probably going to be faster, and Pidgeot with Sand Attack, gotta squeeze that one in there. I think this will go okay. Might take a couple tries, but hey, it's better than taking a ton of them, like it did with Lance. Trust me, that took many tries to get that going down. Our success in this battle does rely heavily on Pidgeot using Sand Attack. Feather Dance I don't mind too much because we can just have Focus Energy, giving us a better crit chance we bypass it. Thankfully, he doesn't go for Sand Attack. Aerial Ace does alright damage. Pidgeot flinches, the champion heals, and we get a critical Flamethrower. Very nice. Rhydon comes out next, but he's an easy one-shot. It's a real shame we don't have something like Giga Drain to heal up off of this guy. Well, next up is Blastoise. Obviously, we're going to go for Hidden Power, and it deals about half. That's definitely enough for a Citrus Berry. Oh, or not, never mind. And that miss with Hydro Pump's very nice. We bring him down to a Sliver. And we get crit by Hydro Pump. Yeah, even at full health, that would have just straight up crushed us. Next up we go for Focus Energy, Aerial Ace is fine, and Critical Hit Rock Slide, even better. I gotta say too, we've had awesome Rock Slide luck in this run. I don't remember missing a single time, at least not in the major battles. Okay, this time we deal enough damage to Blastoise to trigger the Citrus Berry Hydro Pump. This is Hidden Power crits. Thank you, Focus Energy. Alakazam is faster, deals 70 damage to us with Psychic, but it can't stand up to a single Flamethrower. That's going to set off our Citrus Berry. Now, we don't need it for Executor here because we can easily one-shot it with Flamethrower. Arcanine is the one I'm worried about. Now, we really need Rock Slide to not miss here. We're doing really good damage to Arcanine despite Intimidate. Trading Rock Slide and Extreme Speed, we're down to 46 health, and we take it out. Oh yeah. Yeah, not gonna lie, that was a pretty difficult Elite Four with Torchic. But it was also really fun, and Torchic didn't do too bad. I mean, it has a very high level, but its time's not too bad, honestly. I'd gladly try that Lance fight as Torchic over Agatha with Trico. Oh my god, that was awful. So, Torchic's final level is level 83. It's about what I expected, but that is 3 levels lower than Trico. That's pretty cool. And honestly, that kinda translates well into the final time here. Our little buddy Torchic, our little pal fighter in the making, finishes off at 6 hours and 15 minutes. So, where does that put Torchic on the scoreboard, you ask? Well, this one is very easy for us to rank. Torchic's level puts it in D tier, however the time is B tier, so Torchic fits nice and snug in the C rank tier. Next up is Pokemon Ruby with just a Charmander. Will it do better or will it do worse than Torchic? Well, only one way to find out. We'll see you over in Hoenn later.